So we'll start with the whatever we have completed in the last lecture, right? The consign info record, right? ME13. Whatever the info record you have, accordingly, you may proceed. So तुम्ही हे दोन्ही इन्फो रेकॉर्ड करून बघितले स्टँडर्ड आणि कन्साइनमेंटचे
हो सर.
दोन्ही बघितले पीओ
हो
मध्ये रिफ्लेक्ट होतात का बघितलं तुम्ही
हो होतात.
गुड so that is fine now what we can do we'll cover the consignment process but before consignment today I'll complete the taxation and the MIRO okay so what is MIRO is nothing but the invoicing the T code is MIRO so once you have the MIRO T code it will ask for your company code you need to provide the company code over here HPC or whatever and here the details we are going to be fetch whenever it is required. If you want to switch the company code, you come to the edit, switch the company code. You will see you can switch the company code from here itself. Right? It includes all the material or goods cost as well as the delivery cost, whatever you are maintaining into the PO itself. So before that, we'll just need to cover the taxation. Otherwise, what would be the case? We will get an error like this. Suppose if we have one PO, can run the report, whatever PO have. Now you may have the PO. This one we have deleted. We have scheduling agreement. One. This one we have suppose. So here they'll ask for the invoicing date. Invoice date is the date, today's date, where you are going to keep the invoice. Right? It has not sufficient information because 281 जर आपण PO इथं बघितला क्वांटिटी 200 आहे आणि याचं GRN आपण केलेलंच नाही दिसतंय to be invoiced 200 quantity to be delivered 200 quantity so we can select when we have the vendor त्याच्यामध्ये GR बेस्ड इनवॉइस व्हेरिफिकेशन PO मध्ये वगैरे आपण केलेलं होतं जर तुमचं लक्ष असेल तर त्या केसमध्ये we should have a PO right for the PO whose what we can say that the GRN has been completed. MIGO. You need to select accordingly. So go over here first of all. Select the purchase order. Suppose I'll give 40. Line item 20, again I'll give 50. Line item 3, here you can see I'll give 80. Okay. Check it. Also. It will ask for the storage location. I guess for all the line items. Now check it. It will say the deficient quantities. Okay, and post it. Okay, you have posted now your GRM. Okay, so you have posted the GRM. Because when we have the PO, in the PO itself, generally we maintain in the, I'll show you the everything. In some cases, if you not maintain the GR based invoice verification, in that case, even after the PO, means you have the PO, but there is no quantity is delivered, suppose. In that case, what you can have, you'll simply have here in the invoicing tab, GR based invoice verification. And हे कुठून येतं? GR based invoice verification and invoice receipt. Those setting we have maintained here. Right? इथं आपण केलेलं असतं बघा, GR based invoice verification. वेंडर क्रिएट करताना जर तुमच्या लक्षात असेल तर हे आपण केलेलं. याचं मीनिंग काय? अनलेस अँड अंटिल यू डू नॉट हॅव द GRM, राईट? जे आता आपण GRM केलेलं आहे इथं, then system will not allow you to perform the MIRO. जे मगाशी PO जो आपण दिला होता, इनवॉइस हा PO दिला होता, कुठला दिला होता? 281. त्यावेळी आपल्याला सिस्टमने एरर काय दिला होता की इट डज नॉट कंटेन एनी डॉक्युमेंट ऑर मटेरियल. नाउ it has the materials, right? So suppose I'm calculating the tax here. What I'm getting the error as, sorry, the tax code V0 in the procedure of A100 IN is invalid. So before proceed aheading for the MIRO, this tax calculation, this procedure we need to confirm. And that tax calculation procedure, right? Here, I said this one setting, right? Where invoicing, here itself you can edit the PO and you can provide. I'll just come up from the screen because we are going to finish the taxation part. So here you come and you edit it, right? And here you should maintain the taxation. How that we can see now. So you need to go to understand the taxation. What you need to do? You need to go at the back end where SPRO. Generally, invoice verification part deals with the FI guys, finance team. They do take care of the financing. What is the meaning of that? The financing invoice verification is nothing but you have confirmed that material is arrived in your premises and you are liable to do the payment to the vendor based on the invoice verification, right? So for that, we are just going to maintain the different tax which are applicable and tax procedure which are required to be maintained by the MIRO जे invoicing आहे, it depends upon the different taxation in the different countries. So I'll repeat. We are going to the SPRO, reference ING, go to the logistics general. Here. Go to the logistics general here. Itself gives us idea invoicing हे कशावर राहतं, goods movements and everything. So logistics general here. In the logistics general, right? Scroll down. You will see the term tax on goods movements. Tax on goods movements. So click here. Now you need to select your region, your country as an India, right? I'm selecting India. In India, go to the basic settings, right? In basic settings, determination of excise duty here. And you need to select the tax calculation procedure. This is the tax calculation procedure. Select it, select your country, IN, come here. So this is the procedure, right? Now, why we require, again, we go to the MIRO. Give the baseline date, invoicing date, give the PO 81. And now you will get an error as C. The tax code V0. Here you can see this is the tax code V0 is there, right? Even you scroll to the right here, you can see these two tax code V0. So tax code V0 is in the procedure A100 IN is invalid. So where is this AI100 IN is came from? Because this came from your PO is for the company code which is exist in the India. And here are we in India. For an India, we have assigned the tax calculation procedure as A100 IN. You just select it or check it if somebody has already assigned. Keep it as it is. Okay. Might be the case किंवा काय ठिकाणी tax IN असं सुद्धा त्यांनी मेंटेन केलेलं असेल. Tax IN. Whatever the procedure, you make sure that should be assigned. And what we can do now? Next step, first is here come assign the tax calculation procedure. Generally, it is assigned already. You need not required to assign. You just check here, save and come back, right? We do not generally maintain the excise case. It is for the petroleum industry. Second जी case दिसतीये ना, that is just check जर असेल इंडियासाठी परत एकदा सांगतो तुम्हाला. Check it. नसेल तर assign करा, असेल तर well and good. Come back. Now second, maintain excise here. We are not maintaining this excise calculation. Right? This excise calculation is generally petroleum industry साठी असतं. सो फायनान्स टीमचे जे काय आहेत आपण आता बेसिक आपल्या प्रॅक्टिससाठी जेवढे रिक्वायर्ड आहे तेवढे सेटिंग्स बघून घेणार आहे. So this excise related part will be taken care with respect to the petroleum industry, right? Now, second, what we can do? Second, we go condition-based excise determination. Condition-based excise determination. Define tax code for purchasing documents. Click here. Country is your IN, right? Now you can create your own tax codes, right? Like suppose I'll create now V1. Okay. V1. Now I'll show you one thing. I'll create V3, suppose, for example. So it will ask you input tax code, suppose 15%, right? V3 हा तुमचा tax code इथं तुम्ही द्यायचा आहे. Give the description as input tax code I am giving as 15%. Tax type. Tax type ha always input tax असणार आहे. We are MM consultants and we deal with the procurement. आपण purchase करणाऱ्या गोष्टी बघतो. So always we maintain V as an input tax. Okay, save it. Right here, the tax percentage I am giving as 15%. Right, and I'll save it. So tax code V3 was created. Similarly, I have already V1, that is 5% tax, V2 10% tax, and third V3 15% tax हे मी 3 create केलेले. A1, A2 हे दुसऱ्यांचे कोणाचे that we are not aware about it, right? So MMP people will generally take care of input tax, right? Here, the tax type we generally maintain input tax. याला T code असतो short code. It is also called as FTXP when you're going to be maintain this T code. Now, first see, you have to maintain the select tax calculation procedure. इंडियासाठी. Then you are creating tax code similarly there only. Now assign tax code जो काय तुमचा आहे, जो तुम्ही क्रिएट केलेला आहे, टू द कंपनी कोड्स. Execute, go to the new entries, your company, select the company as HPCL, right? Here mention V3, enter and save. It will ask the request, save it. Now go back. I'll show you. For HPCL, we have already assigned V1 5%, V2 10% and V3 15%. जेवढे काही तुम्ही टॅक्स कोड्स क्रिएट करणार इथे, डिफाईन टॅक्स कोड फॉर परचेसिंग डॉक्युमेंट, तुम्ही 2-3 करून ठेवा. आपल्या इथे जनरली किती 5% असतो, 18% असतो, राईट, 12% असतो. सो बेस्ड ऑन दॅट यू जस्ट ट्राय टू क्रिएट 1, 2, 3 टॅक्स कोड्स, and in next step assign those tax code to the company, right? And if we go with respect to the T code, right, check here. याचा टी कोड मी तुम्हाला ऑलरेडी सांगितलं, इथे चेक करा. FTXP is the T code. Here you need to select the IN, right, and assign it. Come back. Next, assign tax code to the company code. If I select, right, yacha somewhere the T code we should understand as OBYZ, right? So you should assign all those three to your company, right? So similarly, we have maintained that. Apart from that, suppose is in case if you get any alternate error, you should be prepared for one T code that is called as OB40. OB40. काय करायचंय? Scroll down, right? At the end, you will find the VST as a key, posting key. Yeah, VST, right? Input tax, this that. So double click over here. Chart of account is always CIN, that controlling मध्ये जो आपण assign केला होता तोच. Execute. Now see, if this account is not there, right? 154,000, you should require to maintain this account. Is it clear, everyone? Otherwise, you will get an error. You need to come to the VST, in OB40, select the transaction keys as, select the chart of account, put this, your account 154,000, save it. You will save, right? Now, what we can do, now we'll go to the PO, ME22N, right? It is already exists, so here we can adopt those tax codes. You have the PO now with you. What we can do, this is your PO. I'm in edit mode. Go to the invoicing tab. Here, in invoicing tab, you select. Now we have created these three tax codes, right? So I'll assign, that is V1 for line item 1. Line item 2, again V1. And line item 3, again V1, right? Enter. You check it. तिन्ही लाईन आयटमला आपण टॅक्स कोड V1 दिलेला आहे. ओके, check it and save it. Now you saved it. Now go to the MIRO. The invoicing date is today's date. Give that date. Here's our company code. तुमचा काहीतरी इथं दिसतंय इंटर इन्व्हॉइसिंग कंपनी इनकमिंग इन्व्हॉइस फॉर द कंपनी कोड HPCL. समजा HPCL साठी नाही करायचंय, गो टू द एडिट, switch company code, change your company code from here. You can see it will be appearing like this. Enter. Now purchase order or scheduling agreement जे काही आपण केलं होतं. See, there is a difference. Once you create the contract, on the basis of contract, again you create the purchase order. But what I said is your scheduling agreement is one and the same, right? That is nothing but scheduling agreement, also called as what? Purchase order. Okay. So either you give your purchase order or scheduling agreement. Enter. Now come here. You can see that V1 input tax has appeared, right? This is the, it will not appear in last case, right? So you can only select good service. Then in that case, only it will show the only good service, right? So we will consider always good service items plus planned delivery cost. Enter. Baseline date. What should be the baseline date? Try to give today's date only. Enter. Enter. Go to the basic data here. Any payment terms, इथं payment मध्ये, right? Any payment term जे काय due within 45 days, 30 days, 10 days, whatever terminology you could maintain. Any discount you want to provide, you can give the discount. If you want to block it, block for the payment, you have an authority, you could block. Because in some cases, समजा तुम्ही GRN करताय. Now there is some called as quality related parameters. की ज्या वेळेला एखाद्या गोष्टीचे GRN म्हणजे मायगो करतो आपण मिगो. In that case, quality parameter आपण चेक करत असतो. सो क्वालिटी पॅरामीटर जर नॉट अप टू द मार्क असतील तर आपण रिव्हर्सल करतो. तर काही क्वांटिटी असं आपण काय करतो, आत इन करतो आणि काही क्वांटिटी रिजेक्ट करतो. सो त्या केसमध्ये काय करणार आपण की वन अनलेस अँड अंटिल वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू गेट एनी परमनंट सोल्युशन, यू कॅन ब्लॉक फॉर अ पेमेंट. तोपर्यंत जो FI चे पीपल आहे म्हणजे जी लोक आहेत, those are not allowed to go for the payment. You can have that particular part, right? You go with, you can give the payment method here. कसं द्यायचंय, काय करायचंय. Generally, those taken care by the FI people. What we maintain baseline date, majorly taxes. Now here give the taxes V1, winter. You check here, right? It is somewhere around 3 lakh, 32 lakh, 50,000, right? You check. And what I'll do, I'll just, once I click here, right? It has calculated the tax. Have you seen? I'll repeat. I'll remove. तुमची टॅक्स अमाउंट किती आलेली आहे इथे दिसते, 1,62,000 रुपये, राईट. आणि once I update, it will get added here. You need to copy that amount from here and paste here. इथली अमाऊंट ज्यावेळी इथं पेस्ट करता आणि एंटर मारता, या दोन केसेस मध्ये ऑब्झर्वेशन करायचे. सी द बॅलन्स इज 0. एरर जो निघून गेलेला आहे आणि वॉर्निंग एरर आलेलं आहे, दॅट इज नो डिलिव्हरी कॉस्ट सिलेक्टेड फॉर द इनवॉइस, कारण ऑलरेडी यू हॅव कॅप्चर्ड इट. कळलं? Yes. Otherwise, if it remains red, right, then system will not allow you to go ahead. So it should be green. Now simulate here. Once you simulate, you will see all those details, these GL accounts. Ki baba material related, packaging details. These all the details we can see over here. We can see, and you need to post from the bottom. Here, post option is given. Post is. Once you post, this invoicing for the respective quantities, that is 51056, has been created. Okay. This completes the invoicing, right? Now go to the PO. Your ME23N, right? Scroll down. Here, go to the purchase order history. Similarly, when you do the GRN किती क्वांटिटीचं केलं होतं? लाईन आयटम 10 साठी 40 क्वांटिटीचं केलं होतं. So you can see you have done the invoicing for the 40 quantities. एवढं amount. Clear? Similarly, if we go for line item 20 साठी out of 200, we go for 15. We have done for GRN 50 quantities and the invoicing for 50 quantities. And the last is your 30. That is the line item 30, this the butane rods. You have done the GRN for 80 quantities and invoicing for again 80 quantities. So whatever you do based on your purchase order, you will always find through the purchase order list. So I'll show you again one part. इथं जो आपण रिपोर्ट रन केला होता 281, राईट? इथं दिसतात बघा, तिन्ही क्वांटिटी 200 आहेत. ओके, and to be delivered मध्ये सुद्धा 200 आहे. Is it so? Because that time we have not done the GRN, right? And still to be invoiced मध्ये पण तुम्हाला to be invoiced मध्ये पण किती दिसतंय? 200 दिसतंय. Now suppose I am going to refresh it, right? I'm going to refresh it. This is our PO 281. Now see, 281 मध्ये line item first 200 तिन्हीचे 200 quantities होते, right? To be delivered 160 means how much delivered? Delivered is 40. ह्याच्यामध्ये to be delivered किती आहेत? To be delivered 150 आहेत. ह्याच्यामध्ये to be delivered किती आहेत? 120. म्हणजे 40, 50 and 80 क्वांटिटी साठी इनवॉइस पण आपण केले. हे पेंडिंग दाखवत आहे. This is called as pending report. So you can compare with this quantity and to be delivered quantity. You will come to know that the 40 quantities has been delivered to the company, sorry, plant. So you will get the all detailed report, open purchase order and all. You have the 80, right? 80 POI. 80 मध्ये काय आहे बघून घे. 100 kg. क्वांटिटी किती आहे? 100 kg. टू बी डिलिव्हर्ड किती आहे? 0. म्हणजे याचं 100 out of 100 GRN has been done. Clear? See. If I open, I go to the purchase order history, it has completed for all the 100 quantities. Clear? Invoice has been clear. So you get the details. Number of invoice increases. जशी जशी GRN वाढतील तसे तसे invoices तुमचे वाढणार. Is it clear? That is called as MIRO. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then you have MIRO. The second option is credit memo. Credit memo is what? Suppose I want to cancel any invoice, right? I want to cancel any invoice. Give the baseline date. Go to the basic data, calculate the tax, okay, copy it, and paste it. What's the meaning of this? I'll tell you. प्रोसिजर ही एकच आहे, पण जो डॉक्युमेंट तुम्ही पोस्ट केला होता, कशासाठी पोस्ट केला होता? याच्या आधी जो इनवॉइसिंग केलं होतं आपण पीओ मध्ये, इथे या 281, राईट? We have posted this invoice for this 40 quantities, then for this 50 quantities, and the last is for 80 quantities. Now the case is, I have observed that this GRN quantities जे आपण केलेले आहेत 40, 50, 80, इथं तुम्ही डॉक्युमेंट इन्फो मध्ये गेला, FI डॉक्युमेंट मध्ये गेला, तर यू विल गेट द डिटेल्स, राईट? काय काय झालं होतं, राईट? It will display the currency over here. general ledger view with respect to the material, all the details you can find. And suddenly what I have observed is, I have observed this, those materials are not as per the quality check. So what I have decided, I'll show you this example. Okay. What I have decided, जे पहिल्यांदा 522 जे दिसते डॉक्युमेंट टाईप, इथं मी ऑलरेडी 100 क्वांटिटी आत घेतल्या. That is the movement type already we have is 101. But I observed some quality issues, so I have decided to return it. So 523. How to return? Return कसं करायचंय? You go for a cancellation. Once you select the cancellation, जो document type आहे तो तिथे इथं टाकायचा आहे. Execute it, right? And once you execute, go to the MIGO, right? मला हा डॉक्युमेंट कॅन्सल करायचा फॉर एक्झाम्पल 123296. Okay. So you have two options. You have two options. Either you call for a cancellation 123, I guess 296. As soon as you enter, right, you can see that movement type 102 will appear here. Can you see this? 102 will appear. You will ask for item okay, everything. Check. म्हणजे मी आता ऑलरेडी दुसरीकडे ओपन केलं त्यामुळे येते. And you once you post it, right? Once you post it, likewise, you will get a cancellation. Once you cancel it, then accordingly, हा 522 प्रमाणे based on the cancellation, the 523 will appear that you have reversed, where for the moment of 102, the 100 quantities been reversed. Right? You confirm from that particular MIGO step. Reversed. And once you reverse it, invoicing पण cancel करावी लागेल. So that invoicing cancelled here. आता मी कुठलं ओपन केलं तर here. You need to select the credit memo, right? And you can cancel the invoice, right? What you can do is, you simply, everything is done here. Go to the simulation, right? Post it. You have posted the new document. Now go to the PO, that is ME23N. Your PO number is 81. Now you can see you have two documents, right? पहिल्यांदा तुम्ही इनवॉइस केला होता 40 क्वांटिटीचा, दिसतो इथे. Then you again reverse for 40 quantities. Now everything again clear. Okay, again everything is clear. I don't have any issue. Everything confirmed. हे प्रत्येक वेळेला करू नका असं. In case ज्या वेळेला हा क्वेश्चन at the time of an interview arises, what happens if you send back the material to the vendor? What about the invoicing? So you simply said you can cancel and you can provide them a credit memo in order to understand. I'm doing the regular procedure now. Okay. Basic data. Here calculate tax. Copy the material. Sorry, copy the amount. Enter. Simulate and post. This is the normal MIRO. Got it? This is the MIRO. You need to maintain the taxation at the back end and then you will get it out. So this we have finished with respect to the MIRO. So if you have the PO open, again you will get 81. See, again the third document is generated. Now you have cleared. आणि परत इनवॉइसिंगचा जर रिपोर्ट तुम्ही बघितला, invoicing report tells us out of 200 quantities, 160 to be delivered and 160 to be invoiced. Right? That means you have cleared it. काही शंका आहे का लेक्चर मध्ये? Invoicing means you have completed the cycle. आपला सिक्वेन्स कसा राहतो? What we have, you have PR, you have next step PO, then you have GRN, then you have MIRO. GRN लाच आपण मिगो पण म्हणतो. चला इथं त्याला इनवॉइस म्हणू. राईट? अँड फायनली पेमेंट. दिस हिअर म्हणजे आपल्यासाठी इनवॉइसला सायकल कंप्लीट झाली. सो हिअर कंप्लीट द सायकल. राईट? अगेन बेस्ड ऑन द PR, right? You may have contract. Based on the PR also, PO, GRN invoice and payment, right? And suppose if you have scheduling agreement, SA, then direct GRN, then invoice and payment. Likewise, your cycle runs. Based on the PR, either you create the contract also, you create the scheduling agreement also. But next step, PR असो किंवा कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट असो, ऑलवेज नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज PO, then GRN, then invoice and then payment. But शेड्युलिंग अग्रीमेंट नंतर हा इथं ठीक आहे, बाकीच्या स्टेप आपण ME38 मध्ये शेड्यूल वगैरे देतो, दॅट इज फाईन, दॅट्स द अनदर केस. बट शेड्युलिंग अग्रीमेंट, GRN, इनवॉइस अँड पेमेंट हिअर कम्प्लीट्स द cycle. Here we complete the cycle, right? That is the case one. Now, again, I'll tell you one thing. We'll finish one more part in today's lecture. मायरो मध्ये काही शंका आहे का मला सांगा, इनवॉइसिंग मध्ये?
नाही सर.
नाही ना? गुड.
नाही.
So now we'll move to the next process. That process is called as consignment. Consignment process is a process, ME51N, okay, which requires first of all your info record, ME11. I'll have you create the info record instead of standard, create for the consignment, enter. My vendor is different. It is already exist. That is this info record. So instead of creation, we'll go in check in ME13, right? 66. Display mode. So I have maintained the info record. Yes, I have maintained it. Go back. Then second is ME01. Did I maintain the source list? Yes, I have maintained the source list. Save. Come back. Now, for consignment PO, you will get an error with respect to the purchase organization. What is that purchase organization is? Standard purchase organization you will get. If I go to MMB, तुमच्या केसमध्ये तुम्ही चेक करून घ्या, राईट? Execute, right? You will see that the vendor consignment stock is 10. Vendor consignment stock किती आहे? 10 आहे. This is different storage location. Okay. How we do that? Consignment order किती आहे बाबा आपल्याकडे? 90. So here, how we do that? First of all, go to the SPRO, reference IMG, right? Enterprise structure, assignment. Here in material management, assign standard purchase organization to the plant, right? Select for a plant, go here, assign your purchase organization. That is standard purchase organization. Okay. Once you assigned it, save it, come back. I'll show you what is first of all the consignment processes. The consignment process, suppose my plant is HP01 and CH1 and PI1, those are my two storage locations. S-log, S-log and have plant. I have some material in my premises. I have some material. काहीतरी XYZ material आहेत. But this as all ownership is with respect to me. And how can you confirm that this ownership is with respect to us? Go to the MIRO, right? You have it, display the document, execute it, right? This is reversal, right? 524 will select. Okay, quantity is 100, material quantity where 101. Now you go to the document info, go to the FI document. The document is generated is only after the ownership of the material is with the company premises. आणि हे कसं कन्फर्म आहे की ही आपली ओनरशिप आहे? When you do the GRL, the ownership of the material is with respect to the plant. त्या केसमध्ये this document gets generated. In consignment process, what happens? The material, we will create one more storage location. That is last time we have created. I have created that is VLOG. What is that? It is vendor consignment. Generally, I'll tell you vendor consignment. म्हणजे काय आहे? Vendor consignment process मध्ये मटेरियल आपल्या लोकेशनला असतं, पण द मटेरियल इज ऑफ द वेंडर्स असतं त्या. तो फक्त ठेवायचं काम काय करतो? आपल्या स्टोरेज लोकेशनला करतो. बट हाऊ वी कन्झ्युम इट? आपल्याला ज्या ज्या वेळेला जेवढी रिक्वायरमेंट आहे तेवढ्या वेळेला आपण तेवढे मटेरियल घेतो आणि आपण ते कन्झ्युम करून टाकतो. That time the document gets generated. So first, right, I'll show you the process. The number one, you can directly create the PO, right? You can directly create the PO. You know how to create the PO. So I will not show that part. Hmm. So item category is consignment. Can you see? Consignment, right? Here, item category is consignment K for a plant and execute, right? I have this PO. I'll show you. I have this PO. काय केलेलं आहे मी? You know that vendor आहे, right? Create a PR. Similarly, create the PO, right? You have the info record here. Okay, no issues. I'll create one for you. Control C. ME51N. Okay. Right. Here you can see आत्ताच आपण हा इन्फो रेकॉर्ड अवेलेबल होता कन्साइनमेंटचा. राईट, इथं दिसते बघा प्लांट अँड द इन्फो रेकॉर्डची कॅटेगरी कोणती आहे? कन्साइनमेंट आहे. राईट. हे कधी येतं? मी ऑलरेडी सांगितलं होतं, असाइन सोर्स ऑफ सप्लाय वेन यू डू कन्फर्म. I'll remove everything. Initially, it looks like this. Nothing is there. Okay. Once you click assign source of supply, the info record you have created and the fixed vendor you have created, based on that, it will pick the vendor, check it, right? Post it, right? So 1038 is created. Similarly, go to the ME21N, select your document type, ZCon, consignment PO, right? Come here, directly in purchase requisition, give your new PR, clear? So item category मध्ये K आलं की त्याला समजायचं it is a consignment process. And how it comes based on your document type, right? Now, and इथं जर account assignment ला आलं, that time we called it as what? That is a cost center. So these are the two differences, right? इथं जर आलं, that time account assignment मध्ये, so that K is different, that is cost center. So what I can do is I'll save, and the PO created is this 4500024010. Okay. Now make sure that we have MMP. Okay. Execute. इथं क्वांटिटी किती आहे वेंडर कन्साइनमेंट मध्ये 10 आहे. कन्साइनमेंट ऑर्डर म्हणजे 2 PO आहेत आपले. एकातले 90 शिल्लक आहे आणि आता आपण एक केलेलं आहे, दॅट इज 100. So you go to the MIGO screen here. You give the PO number 10, enter. Once you give the enter, जनरली आपली मुवमेंट टाईप ही 101 येते, ती इथं पण दिसते. बट विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू 101, you can see here, this is the K is appeared. What that K stands for? That K stands for your consignment stock. Consignment is nothing but the vendor. Okay. So what I can do is, out of 100, I'll give all the 100 quantity. Storage location मी काय करणार आहे? Storage location I'll select vendor material storage location. Separate देणार आहे. Item okay, check. Okay, right? Post. You have posted a document. This. Now come here, right? You can check. See, unrestricted कडे लक्ष द्या आणि consignment order कडे लक्ष द्या. Unrestricted आणि इथे. आता 190 आहे आणि 10 आहे. So I'll refresh. See, unrestricted खरं ही vendor consignment मध्ये काय झालेलं आहे? 110. ऑन ऑर्डर म्हणजे आणखी एक PO आहे ज्याच्यामध्ये 90 क्वांटिटी अजून ओपन आहेत, ज्याचं गुड्स रिसिव्ह झालेलं नाही, हे त्याचं मिनिंग असतं. राईट, दॅट इज दी वेंडर कन्साइनमेंट. अगेन आय विल गो बॅक टू द मिगो स्क्रीन, display and execute. You can see, we'll go to the document info and go to the FI document. You can see at the bottom, no subsequent document found in the accounting. याच्या आधी ज्या वेळेला आपण FI डॉक्युमेंट चेक केलेले होते, मटेरियल लीजर, the valuation, we can easily understand that were appearing. But when in consignment stock, the ownership is with the vendor only. You can see याचं meaning काय? हे vendor consignment is a location. या लोकेशनला 110 क्वांटिटी आहे. ज्याचा मालक कोण आहे? ज्याचा मालक कोण असणार आहे? You can see in the PO or here. The detail you will get. One हा मालक आहे. HPCL 4400106. But now what we can see, I want to utilize the document. मला वापरायचं, सॉरी, I want to utilize the material. 110 आहेत. आज माझी रिक्वायरमेंट किती आहे? आज माझी रिक्वायरमेंट आहे 10 क्वांटिटीची. So what you can do, you come here, go to the transfer posting, right? You select other. Consignment is 411K. What is that? 411 procedure, movement type. 411 is transfer posting from storage location. हे 411 आहे. आणि K कधी आहे? कन्साइनमेंट पासून आपल्या ह्याला ज्यावेळी घेतो आपण त्याला K बोलतो. राईट, दॅट सिलेक्ट दॅट युअर मटेरियल इज 525. प्लांट कोणता आहे? HP1. स्टोरेज लोकेशन वेंडर मटेरियल. राईट. आणि आता तुम्हाला कुठल्या ह्याला घ्यायचंय तुमच्या? आय वॉन्ट इन चाकण प्लांट, इन रेग्युलर प्लांट. हे दोन्ही चाकणमध्येच आहेत, राईट. फरक असा आहे की हे तुमच्या अंडर नाहीये. आत्ता जे दिसते तुम्हाला हे वेंडरच्या अंडर आहे, पण आता तुम्ही तुमच्या अंडर घेणार, राईट. चेक इट. आयटम ओके. चेक. Quantity is missing. Out of say I'll want 50 quantity. Again check. Enter a vendor. याची मालकी कुणाची होती? So go to the material. Here. Sorry, here. ट्रान्सफर पोस्टिंग मध्ये कन्साइनमेंट वेंडर विचारलेला आहे. इथून सिलेक्ट करा हू इज युअर वेंडर, जो तुम्ही इन्फो रेकॉर्डला मेंटेन केला. अँड बेस्ड ऑन दॅट यू हॅव क्रिएटेड द पीओ 106. आय हॅव टेकन. चेक इट. पोस्ट इट. यू मेक शुअर दॅट हा रन टाइम एरर आहे, हा अजून सॉल्व्ह झालेला नाही, कालपासून मी चेक करतोय. वन्स यू एक्झिक्यूट, राईट, मेक शुअर दॅट वन्स यू एक्झिक्यूट, कम टू युअर दिस स्क्रीन, रिफ्रेश, हे 110 मध्ये 60 इथं राहतील आणि तुमच्या चाकांच्या ठिकाणी 50 येतील, जे आता आपण एक्झिक्यूट केले. यू गॉट माय पॉइंट. आपण काय केलं, या 110 मधून इथं 50 ट्रान्सफर केले, अँड दॅट कम्स इन युअर स्टोरेज लोकेशन. यू कॅन टेक इट, राईट. हा एरर आहे अबॅपचा, जो प्रोसेस होत नाहीये. सिमिलरली यू कॅन हॅव वन मोर मोमेंट, दॅट इज आय शो गुड्स इश्यू. डायरेक्टली यू इश्यू द मटेरियल. म्हणजे त्या केसमध्ये तुम्हाला काय करायची गरज नाहीये. 201, यू कॅन सी हिअर, कन्झम्पशन कॉस्ट सेंटर फ्रॉम द वेअरहाऊस. एखाद्या म्हणजे डायरेक्ट तुम्ही आता काय केलं, आपण अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड मध्ये 411 नी मूव्ह केलं. सो आय सिलेक्ट के, राईट. मटेरियल आय हॅव 525. क्वांटिटी किती द्यायची, समजा मला 20 द्यायचे. वेअर प्लांट HP1, स्टोरेज लोकेशन CH1, एंटर. एंटर कॉस्ट सेंटर. गो टू द अकाउंट असाइनमेंट. कॉस्ट सेंटर जे आपण क्रिएट केलं होतं, PRDDEPT, प्रोडक्शन मध्ये आपण गुड्स इश्यू करतोय, राईट. चेक. कमी दाखवतो. नाही, एज अ रिझन काय सांगतो मी तुम्हाला. कन्साइनमेंट स्टॉक, ओके, यू जस्ट फॉरगेट अबाउट दिस 201K, बिकॉज फॉर दॅट your this stock is required. You can directly consume, or we may have, let me check. I'll remove that this storage location. I'll take it from vendor consignment stock. Now the quantity is 20. Let me check the system allow. No. हे कधी शक्य असतं? That is only possible that you have your authority to directly take it from the your unrestricted. आत्ताची जी मुवमेंट आहे 201K, it will allow you only when, right, when you could have this particular material. एक काम करा, 411K मेथडनी, जो just now what we had now, you just go ahead with 411K, check the difference here in the stock overview, and then go for 201. या दोन्ही मुवमेंट आहेत मधला फरक काय आहे? The 411K is nothing but what? 411K here, you are going to take the material from vendor storage location to your premises. That is called as 411. And 201 is the movement type, that is goods issue to your particular department. That is called as 201. 101K ने आपण काय केलं होतं? We have done the this one, right? That is the goods issue as on the basis of, sorry, goods received on the basis of consignments. Second is transfer posting. जे मी एरर जो आला होता 411K ट्रान्सफर पोस्टिंग विथ 411K movement type. What is that? We perform the transfer posting manually without reference of the PO. Transfer vendor consignment stock to the company stock. हा अजून कन्साइनमेंट स्टॉक मध्ये आहे. तो आपण 411K नी कंपनी स्टॉक मध्ये घेणार आहोत. कंझ्युम फ्रॉम वेंडर कन्साइनमेंट स्टॉक टू दी अपडेट इन दी कंपनी स्टॉक. याच्यासाठी आपल्याला फक्त काय करायला लागतं, कॉस्ट सेंटर GRN मध्ये असाइन करायला. आणि जर तुम्हाला डायरेक्ट इश्यू करायचं असेल वेंडर कन्साइनमेंट स्टॉक मधून, देन यू गो विथ द 201K. राईट? You try to perform. I actually posted yesterday itself in a group regarding that error. Okay, let me check one more time. Okay. What's the error I'm getting? Here we go. Select the transfer posting 411K. आता मटेरियल कुठे आहे 525 HP01 प्लांट इज वेंडर मटेरियल स्टोरेज लोकेशन. याच्यामधून कुठे घ्यायचं आहे, आपल्या वेअर हाऊसला घ्यायचं आहे. गिव्ह द वेंडर एज दिस क्वांटिटी द्या, एक समवेअर अराउंड 50. चेक, नो एरर, पोस्ट. फक्त हे पोस्ट ज्यावेळी होईल, जसं मिगो मध्ये डॉक्युमेंट नंबर जनरेट होतो, तो डॉक्युमेंट नंबर जनरेट होईल आणि हा स्टॉक मध्ये तुम्हाला डिफरन्स दिसेल. वेंडर कन्साइनमेंट मधून 50 क्वांटिटी कमी होतील आणि ते इथे कुठेतरी दिसेल. ओनली ट्राय टू परफॉर्म दॅट. आय जस्ट अगेन सिस्टीमचे जे इश्यू होते, ऍक्च्युली मी 2-3 दिवस फॉलोअप घेतोय, काही थोडे सॉल्व्ह झाले, त्या बेसिसवर वी हॅव जस्ट डू इट. राईट?
ते रिलीज स्ट्रॅटेजीचं पण एक
रिलीज स्ट्रॅटेजीचं काय?